This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools, quality tools, essential support.
All right, guys, so we are doing a walk-in freezer that's froze up. Fans ain't running. Let's go take a quick look at it. Got to try to figure out how to get on the roof here because I haven't worked at this location before, and see what we can do with this thing. Of course, the roof hatch is locked, and they locked the door, didn't they? Yep, nope. Okay, this is the cooler. So freezer, like I said, it's right around 10 degrees area. But I came in here just a second ago and you can see we've got, it obviously is freezing and the fans ain't running. So I'm gonna say the fans are probably your main issue, but they all spin freely. I don't know if we got a bad fan delay, which could easily be bad. But either way, I'm gonna have to melt this down. And I don't wanna just change fan delay if that is what's wrong with it. And then, you know, have to come back because something we missed because we didn't go on the roof. But this thing looks a little rough. I figured it was gonna be one of those digital things, but yeah. Let's go see if we can get on the roof. It's like I said, it's locked.
I never know which one it is, so give me just a second.
No problem. Perfect. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're finished so that I can walk out.
Sure, not a problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, this cage is actually big enough to actually get up here with your tool bag on. I don't know if this even gets me over to it. And this is the other store beside it, which boy, oh boy, all froze up. Practice no insulation. Same thing with those over there. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's flooding back. Below dew point, go figure. Boy, that's a creative way of doing the gas line. Boy. So I got a hold of one of the guys that used to work for this gas station, and he said that this probably is the place that I'm working at here, and that those ones right there are probably the ones for the main store. So what I did, I went ahead and killed power to it. I'm gonna go down and see if the fans all stopped. This door that's off, that was already off for me to make it easier, I guess. Yeah, these contactors look really nice. There are some of the tip-top shapes. Let's see if this thing rotates at all. It does rotate. Those contactors look like crap. Chances are, if the condenser fans are up, or the evaporator fans are up here, that probably is what's going on, but who knows? Let's go down there and take a look. I don't hear anything pumping, so this must be it. All right, well, that's good. This is just generic defrost system. So the stat's dead. That means everything is completely dead, which means we got the right one. Good. This will get labeled. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Oh yeah. It's a tiny little guy. Holy crap. I mean, look at that. Unfortunately, my tools are all up on the roof. I have a feeling, though, that fan delay is my issue. I guess first thing I could do is actually see if that's our issue. Let me go grab a nut driver. Remember back in the day when we used to have to do this by hand all the time. No, it's conveniently on the other side, I guess. Well, son of a biscuit lover. Okay. For 10 degrees, don't feel too bad, honestly. Don't have no jacket on or anything else. There we go. Get our O light out. Floodlight. So we've got our fan time delay there. Black, brown. Brown goes to N. 4, and red goes to X. Extra termination. 4 and N. Pretty sure. So N should be your common. Oh, I wouldn't say common, but common in the sense of a regular switch. Okay, so this should be dead. Let's make sure. Go to voltage. Go to chassis and see if we got anything on here. That's dead. That's dead. Okay, now let's go to resistance. Double check our leads. she's good. And let's go to these two here. We want to isolate them. There we go. And let's go to this one. It should be closed. I don't think it is. Go to termination. There ain't nothing there. Let's go to that one to the other. One should be open, one should be closed, either way. And from what I'm seeing, okay, termination. If I'm reading it right. Of course, we're both on the thing here anyway, so it's just so I don't forget. I shouldn't, but you know, there's nothing worse than thinking you remembered and then you forgot. I saved a schematic in the past, and looking at this schematic here, black and blue, which don't even need any colors. So in to F1, which that's not even how that is. That is not even how that is. Do we not have a freaking, is it not wired right? Was it optional on this one? There's no freaking limit in here either. Wow, that's really nice. Really nice. That's really nice. I'm loving it. So it should be going from X. X should be red, which that's correct. Black should be going to the F, the fans. N should be the blue, which now is probably brown. And that is on N. And then, like I said, the the black wire there. That black wire, it's going to 4, which then goes to this yellow wire, which then goes possibly to the roof and back again. And then F1 and F2. So yeah, there's F1 and F2, there's a black and a red there. So there's a good possibility that this power, because it's going to this yellow wire, which is off of the 4 terminal, which is not even being used for nothing, is looping up, and they're using it as a dummy terminal, and they're bringing it back. Down here is F1 and 2, which is a red and black. I about guarantee, and they're completely isolated, I about guarantee you these fans are controlled by a contactor up there, and generally you do that so that you don't overload the circuit if you're like borderline not big enough power wise. Brown and black should have been closed. Let's look at that again. Let's look at it again. I kind of forgot as I was talking to you. Let's look at that again. Okay, black and brown, they're open. This sucks because, you know, like I said, the color is wacky. On this one here, black or blue, which is now probably brown because they changed it. Brown. Does that not even go to there either? Okay, nothing on that one. We don't have nothing on this one, do we? Hell, that's junk either way. Guess what? They're getting a new one. I'm not fiddle-farting with stupid here. So we're gonna get a new one on there, and then we'll defrost it and we'll see if it works. If it don't, then we'll check the contactors that are out there in the water. There we go. Man, I'll tell you what, guess what this is? Field piece box. See that? Guess what I did? Rebellion against Testo, who didn't care when I asked them at the AHR show about their problems and stuff. Guess what? Another set of field piece, another set of field piece. Bye-bye, Testo, you're gone. Still got that NAVAC thing there as a backup, but then also look what I got. Got the awesome analog gauges here. The cool thing about these are 1% whole range. So from 0 to 500 and 0 to 800, 1% tolerance. So that thing is going to be super accurate. That's how accurate those are, 1%. So kind of excited to use these. And if you look at it, that is the exact same manifold. And the price on them is not bad. TrueTech Tools has got them. I think they're like 150 bucks. Look at this rubber around it. Super, super strong, super, super nice. Took off the yellow jackets. Also, I got the new hoses for them there too, which I think I'm getting another set of those. I still keep just my wireless probes on there, and I didn't realize you can read duct temperatures and your pipe sensors all on that same display. You couldn't do that with the Testo. Let's get in there and get that changed, see how this does. You see that? Wasn't that really cool? Really? Oh gosh. Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. I'm sorry, you can't see very well, can you? Let's see if we can get that fixed for you. These switches are problematic. Every time it goes in defrost, 4 times a day, usually, that thing is constantly open and close, open and close, open and close, open and close. And according to the schematic, the limit is optional. So I guess they figure it's inside of a metal box. Don't need no stinking limit. What I like about this one, you can see that the resin is a little bit better the way they did it. Come on, get tight. Are you even getting tight? Don't act like you're getting tight. Come on, get in there. There you go, because that's got to be tight. If not, it won't sense temperature off that thing worth a squat. That would be good. And no, this is not a magnetic driver. Like I said, I didn't want to climb all the way back to the roof to get my drill, which ain't horribly far, but it ain't real close either. Okay, now let's do a transplant here. So we know the red went up here on X. And the black went on N. I'll tell you what, before we do that, for Jimmy Crack Corn here, see if this thing's got a closed circuit to it. My field piece meter's up on the roof, which I still have my 902. I'm looking at possibly getting that smaller field piece too. So those two are open, but at least between this one, because it just got brought in here, should be, yeah, between the red and the brown. Red and the brown, so red and the brown. Yeah, brown, which was blue, would be your closed, so it still thinks it's warm. So that is your swing, that is your common. And that one does go to what would have been the N, actually. So brown goes to the N. I don't know if that's how, I don't think that's how it was originally. And the black goes to this yellow terminal that goes up on the roof. That's probably what's wrong. Either way, it is what it is. Yeah, because here it said it went to, the black went to the fans. Blue went to N, right? Yep, N is brown now, and 4 is going to the fans. See how we got that right there? You've got the X, which is your termination, is red. Black, or blue, which is now brown, goes to N. Like I said, they're getting these wires here kind of mixed around between the two of them. So anyhow. Evaporator fans, EFC, evaporator fan contactor. So she just went into, okay, so it's shut off or what? So it has a digital thermostat. Tell you what, let's not hornswoggle around a whole lot. I do not like the sound of that. All right, well, okay, that killed that. C2, that is your evaporator fans right here. There's that black and red we were talking about. That's coming off of 4. 4 is also getting fed and they didn't do a jumper between, well, they did 1 to 2. What the heck? That's kind of corny. So one light coming off of 4, which 4 then jumps down to here, which then goes that yellow. Remember that yellow I told you about? What the crap? So it's terminating because of switches on there. So let's get the termination unhooked for a minute. I just killed the power to it. There we go. So we're gonna leave that off while we wait for it to defrost. There we go, flip it back on. Should pump down and then shut off. There we go. That's a really nice. Yeah, I can't imagine why these aren't doing that great. I mean, you know, they've only been exposed to the weather. Wow, that's nice. That one's completely loose. Yeah, that there needs replaced. See what kind of amp draw we're getting out of that contactor. 4, 10. And go to black, which is 7. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna replace both those contactors. Honestly, the freaking compressor contactor looks like crap too. Let me call and talk to their guy, kind of see if he's okay with all that, which they usually are. See how I did that again? Ain't that awesome? Oh, anything for video people, right? It's not so cool when you see it being done over and over, huh? Okay, O1s are usually 120 volt. O2s are your 230 volt. There we go. We'll get that there. So that one's for defrost, and we'll get us an O2 also for compressor. So there's another one of those. There you go. And then we need a 2-pole for the fan, which, what do we got here? Old White Roger. That one's probably 3, that's a 3-pole. I put my tiny ones over here in the other one. There we go. And that would be the same ordeal here. So that kind of makes it nice. You can turn that off like that, but helps light up everything in here. But here's my other one. Got an extra light there. Time delays. Dun-dun-dun. There's an O2. There's another O2. There we go. Got plenty of O1s. So that right there is my 230 volt coil, 2-pole. It's 30 amps. And guess what the company did? They got my bucket and gave everybody one of those. So now everybody's got good evacuation stuff. They went with a 1/2-inch hose instead of 3/4, but and then 3/8 for the second hose. But it's a lot better than what they had. See, we got the extra valve core tools there. Another blue vac, which he did go with the blue vac. Unfortunately, he didn't buy it from where he should have got it, but they gave him a good deal where he got it at. So I got that mega hose there and that one there. It's definitely, and then they got us an 8 CFM pump as well. So I don't necessarily need to use my personal stuff as much now. Like I said, this mess, I don't know what to do with it. I think I'm gonna put something up here on top, maybe change those out. I don't really use the black iron fittings like I used to. Just ain't enough room. I got a pull-out drawer thing, which ain't real big. I think I'm gonna do that up underneath my toolbox. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, it looks like it's working. Oh yeah. Okay, we got a little bit of fog in here. I put the cover on just in case I would forget. That way, there was no electrical exposed. We are completely free of anything and everything, far as any nastiness in there, which is great. Great. Yeah, I don't need a super flipping long defrost. I think we're gonna shut that down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get this thing labeled better too. Oh, I guess it used to be. Used to be right there. Was here too. Well, obviously, hello, the reason why it's not terminating. There you go, it works. Imagine that. Okay, let's go ahead and get this changed. That's the reason why I was like, oh my goodnesses. That's probably why it's not working, huh? I'd like to chop these off, but they are kind of short. Is this a scroll? Yes, it's a scroll. So we better make sure, we're gonna need to make sure that scroll's the right direction. Thought that was a defrost, and I wasn't paying close attention to it. Okay, let's see what we got here for the power. Just listen to it. Sounds normal to me. We'll get it froze down some, and then we will test to make sure that the contactor closes for the defrost. Switch it to 3, hop over to this one. 1, 2, 3. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay, she just kicked on, and she is running. Get rid of some of this junk. Okay, it appears we're going the right direction there. Okay, we went ahead and put her at 32-ish instead of 35-ish. Coming over here to our sight glass. We are solid as a rock. Guess now we go downstairs and see if the fans run. That's kind of what we had before was the problem. Okay, moment of truth. Listen to that. Listen to that. That must have been what was wrong. She feels like she's getting colder. Coil looks good now too. Get her a little light. The O-light. O-light, O-light. So hopefully now we won't get as much wetness on the ceiling. Probably could wipe that off here before we get started. I'd say she's working good. It's already at 9 or 8 degrees. I'm gonna see if I can get a rag and wipe that thing off. All right, so we got that wiped off. This had already froze, not much I can do about that. And then that's froze there, but the rest of it I got wiped off, so it's a lot better than what it was. All right, now let's go ahead and put this in a defrost to make sure that it defrosts without terminating. That'll tell us whether or not that picks up what it needs to pick up. Okay. Went ahead and energized the defrost relay without waiting, so that's a bad potential thing. Okay. So it did pump down. I would have liked it if there had been an interlock. There's no sense of having a potential device there that could short out and take that out. So we got rid of that. We're using that basically as dummy terminals because it's only one leg, which is fine. This here was whatever. So yeah, I'd say everything's wired the way it needs to be wired then. Didn't really need that extra piggyback here now. And get that piggyback off there. Now let's go ahead and set the clock before we take it out. We're going right into about 11. And it's gonna go into a freaking defrost here in an hour. I would rather not do that. So let's go ahead and kick it out. We'll be close. There we go. Hear the clock kick on. Yeah, that thing there, like I said, they're just using that as dummy terminals. They're using the double there. This here would reach. We could just unhook that, and this here, which goes on down to there, technically could be stretched over to, yeah, it's just a confusing mess is all that is. All right, so that wraps everything up. Everything's working good right now. The defrost works. We've got the new contactors in there, and the box is coming down in temperature. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, smack that thumbs button, share it, leave a comment down below. All those things help me out, and if you really want to support the channel, just watch the whole video. I make a little bit of money off the commercials. That helps a lot, and also the watch time makes a huge difference. All that said and done, I appreciate you guys once again. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.